Bitcoin, the first and most valuable cryptocurrency. So what is Bitcoin? Next. Hey guys, and welcome to Fish and Chips. I am Randy, your host, and this is Brian, my co-host.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And guys, first, before we even get into this subject, this storyline, we want you to first make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that stuff. We're going to wait for a second. Go ahead. Come on.
Let us know that we're doing a good job.
Yes. So anyway, guys, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin for the beginners. Maybe you've been hearing about Bitcoin and don't necessarily know what
I've been hearing about Bitcoin
is.
Since 2009.
Yeah. It, but a lot of times we hear about it, but we don't know exactly what it is. And guys, as we talk about this is just for educational purposes only. And, Bitcoin is something that's been thrown around as a new form of cryptocurrency. It's supposed to be the next big thing, and I just wanted to give us a good understanding for those that don't know what Bitcoin is. Basically, Bitcoin is a form of digital currency that aims to eliminate the need for central authorities such as banks or governments. Instead, Bitcoin uses blockchain technology to support peer-to-peer transactions between users on a decentralized network. That sounds like a lot. So how did you first hear about Bitcoin, Brian?
Man, I heard about Bitcoin from a Chinese lady, man, way back in 2011, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. It was a long time ago. But yeah, man, I think... if I could go back to that time, I think I would really listen to her a little bit more than what I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because right around that time as well, a friend of mine had told me about Bitcoin, and I didn't know what it was, but I just...
Did you remember what the market was at that price, or what the price was at that time?
At the time, again, I was trying to understand Bitcoin. I went to this function she invited me to, and at the time they were saying Bitcoin was worth $100, and I still
was so low. Man.
I wasn't understanding it, but people were putting like $1,000, $2,000 into this thing and this type thing. And what I did, I actually did buy, I think like $300 worth, and I didn't know exactly how it worked or anything.
Yeah, I mean, the same way. I mean, I think at the market price at that time was like $100. And, at that time, I mean, it was a new thing, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I've only invested in small amounts, $100 here, $100 there. Nothing too crazy at that time, right? Look at us now.
Yeah,
man.
But the crazy thing to me, like I said, I end up when it was $100, because I think it's like $40,000 right now, worth about $40,000. But at that time, I bought like $300 worth, and I think I let it sit there for like about 7 months, and I made like $900 with it. But for some crazy reason, my friend
cashed out.
My friend was telling me, she was saying, just let it stay there for like 7 or 8 years. Yeah. To me, that was like a long time.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, it was it was crazy because again, you only put maybe like, at that time $100, $200, $300, and it grew into $1,000. You were just like, whoa, it's just amazing, right? You never seen that. And of course, me, I I cashed out.
I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
I did the same thing. Again, I didn't. Sometimes you don't understand something.
I didn't understand.
I knew everybody else was excited about it, and like, hey, this is going to be the currency, America and the United States is going to use
and century. Yeah.
And I couldn't see that. So about after 7 months, I took my money out, which is the worst thing I could have done, because had I let that $200 or $300 stay there up to now, I probably would have made $3 or $4 million.
I mean, at that time, I didn't realize, this was a long-term investment. I just saw, man, I just made some money.
You smell that? What is that?
What?
What's that smell?
A cologne?
No.
Opportunity.
No. Money.
Oh, okay.
I smell money.
And I took that out and just, spent that on, things I didn't really need. But I didn't really understand it at that time.
Yeah, I think had we done the research and understanding, because again, everybody was talking about it, but we really didn't research it, and we just didn't think like, well, whatever. This is just another.
I was just glad I made some money.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
Exactly.
That's what I was glad at, yeah.
And I really couldn't think about letting it just sit there for 3 years or 7 years or 8 years.
Right. I mean, can you just imagine, right? Can you just imagine it grew up to like 10,000, you just letting it sit, I can just see the conversation. So you just have $10,000 right there? Or are you not going to take it out? No.
Exactly.
Why? I'm going to let it go to the moon.
Exactly. Exactly, but we perish because of lack of understanding. Yeah. I should have dug deep into it, but I didn't. And now to look at the fact that it's around $40,000, and I think they're expecting it to go up to 100,000, 500,000 over the next 10, 12 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said eventually $1 million per coin. So eventually, that will happen. I mean, it's going to take a couple. Hopefully, it takes a couple of years, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. But, this guy, I think his name was, what was his name?
Michael Saylor?
Yeah, Michael Saylor, who I think has bought all of this Bitcoin and, millions of dollars. And he really believes in it. So, again, for the beginner, how does Bitcoin work? Each Bitcoin is a digital asset that can be stored at a cryptocurrency exchange or in a digital wallet. Each individual coin represents the value of Bitcoin's current price, but you can also own partial shares of each coin. The smallest denomination of each Bitcoin is called a Satoshi, sharing its name with Bitcoin's creator. So each Satoshi is equivalent to 100 millionth of one Bitcoin. So owning Bitcoin fractional shares is quite common. Bitcoin is powered by an open source code known as a blockchain, which creates a shared public history of transactions organized into blocks that are chained together to prevent tampering. Right there, I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot of information. It's put on a blockchain and then it's worked from there. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to, even though Bitcoin right now, what it's like at $40,000, I can buy a fraction of it. I can buy $100 of it, or I can buy $10 if I choose to, right? Yeah. So I don't necessarily have to buy.
I mean, you can buy, let's say for example, if you wanted to put in $50, you can put $50. If you want to put 100, 200, 1,000, 50,000, whatever you can, you can do anything. I would say, this is not financial advice, but Bitcoin is here to stay.
So, but my thing is, I don't have to come up with $40,000, which is where its rate is right now. I can buy $10 of it if I want to, or $20 of it if I want to, right? Then I noticed where it says a Bitcoin wallet contains a public key and a private key, which work together to allow the owner to initiate and digitally sign transactions. This unlocks the central function of Bitcoin, securely transferring ownership from one user to another. So users on the blockchain network, they verify the transactions through a process known as mining, which is designed to confirm that new transactions are consistent with other transactions that have been completed in the past. This ensures that you can't spend the Bitcoin you don't have or that you have previously spent. That is really, really interesting, how they have all this working together. It also says new Bitcoins are created as part of the Bitcoin mining process, so in which they are offered as a lucrative reward to people who operate computer systems that help to validate transactions. That is wild. All this new technology is just, and I've noticed that everything has changed and evolved except our money. So now to see this Bitcoin coming in as an exchange or place of money, in the way that we normally do things.
Yeah, it's you like say, it's crazy. It's new technology. I mean, what they're talking about as well. They're talking about this could be like our new monetary system. we don't know what could happen. Technology is growing every single day. They talk about this could be a new found of wealth. That a lot of us can really have access to and build wealth out of this. I mean, this is like the new form of real estate, right? New form of asset that you definitely want to be holding, whatever it is. I would
exactly
say.
So Bitcoin is not like you holding actual money in your hand, right? So there's not no dollar bills or $10 in your hand. It's just more through the blockchain.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's more like a digital currency in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, because I saw where they got the credit cards. You can get a credit card and have your Bitcoin on there and use it just like you use a Visa.
Yeah, I've seen like the ATMs that these things are everywhere. But yeah, there's a lot of exchanges that you can buy Bitcoin. I mean, you've seen you can buy it through Cash App. Pretty sure you can buy it through PayPal or eventually. I'm pretty sure eventually in the future maybe you will be able to get it through banks, right? I mean, so there's places that you can buy Bitcoin, but yeah, it's just digital currency. I mean, I think, which is what do you say? I mean, eventually, paper is just gonna be gone. And I won't say gone, but a lot of people don't use it. How many people do you see with cash around there? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing stuff electronically now through a debit card. Through your phone, through Apple Pay, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, honestly, I didn't think that it would grow this quick because I know that there's a lot of people that are already using Bitcoin, and even though it's volatile, going up and down, it's starting to kind of stabilize. Well,
I would say Bitcoin has been here for a while, for a long time. That's what people don't realize. Now, to a lot of people, yeah, this is new to a lot of people. Right, but no, Bitcoin has been here for almost like a decade now. So, and then some countries like El Salvador have adopted Bitcoin for their day-to-day transactions. So, we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
And even though it's volatile, and I think I'm going to try maybe with my own portfolio, maybe have like about 5% where it's Bitcoin because it is volatile. So it's really up to you whether or not you feel like it is a good investment or not. And my thing is, I feel real good about it. At least putting 5% in. I wouldn't go do 50% because I feel like they're still working out the kinks in it or whatever. But I do overall believe in Bitcoin, and I personally continue to put maybe like 5% of my portfolio in it. So
I would. I mean, at this point, just by the stuff that I know and what we know, at this point, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is probably the safest asset out there right now, especially trying to hedge against inflation and all that stuff. But Bitcoin is definitely something that I'm definitely holding, as far as in my portfolio, and I just plan to hold that for a long term, because it is something that everybody should be holding.
Exactly.
Just a little bit.
Well, all those, everybody don't want to risk, so it's to those that feel comfortable with actually doing it. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, the shocking thing for me was because I have a wallet through Coinbase, so they give you this little Visa card, and I literally 6 months ago went into the mall and I spent like $30 on my Bitcoin with the Visa, and I was like, whoa, it actually, you can buy stuff with it.
I mean, supposedly, with Bitcoin is kind of in a sense like being your own bank, right? And so of course, now wouldn't that be awesome? Isn't that awesome, right? You have money into your Coinbase account. You got a little debit card, and you can spend your Bitcoin the same way you would in your actual Capital One bank. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing, but again, you have more of control as far as your finance. That's the ultimate goal here, right?
So basically, they're trying to move the banks out of the way, and you basically peer to peer.
Exactly.
You taking control of your own money, your own funds, this type thing,
yeah. Instead of giving, because you put your money in your bank again. What I've heard is it's more like an IOU type of thing, right? Of course, if they have your money, and what happens if the banks shut down and all that stuff? I mean, I know they probably won't, but what happens if they do? Like, if they collapse, what are you gonna do with all your money?
You know, I think
Money's
it's very
gone.
interesting. Again, you know, just been watching it over the years and having some investment in it right now. You know, again, like I said earlier, I'm going to continue to put maybe 5% of my portfolio into it. You know, do I believe in it? Yes, I do. You know, because I look at the fact that, again, everything in our world has changed outside of the money, you know, money currency. So I think it's going to become the next big thing. And I'm all in it. I'm down for it. So.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, again, what is it? Mr. Wonderful was even talking about.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
This is gonna be, well, as far as crypto is gonna be the new financial sector. You know, as far as like the new stock market, that's what he says, right? That this is, so again, we are in just the beginning stages. This is just the beginning, you know. So again, we don't know where it could head to and all that stuff, but you know.
Do your own due diligence, you know, really get to understand.
Do your own research. Yeah, do your own research.
Exactly.
Find out how to buy it. Find out where to hold it. You know, that's what you want to research all that stuff for. You know, you don't want to just buy it and be like, oh, okay, what do I do next? No, you need to know exactly where to hold it. And, you know, because again, you got exchanges, and then then you also got private wallets and all that stuff. So it's just a lot out there. We just kind of, this is just, you know, a small little, you know.
I mean, I hope we do another part too, in addition to Bitcoin and how it also works, because I think it really is, you know, something that, you know, people need to know and able to make their own decision, you know what I mean, if they want to invest in it or not.
Diamond hands all the way, baby. Woo!
But anyway, guys, you know, if you like this type of content, just let us know in the comments. We read our comments. If you want to also talk a little bit more about Bitcoin and the wallets and how that happens, just let us know in the comments, or if you've ever heard of Bitcoin and what you think about Bitcoin.
Let us know if you hold a little bit of Bitcoin.
Yeah, maybe some of you out there are ahead of us, and you out there been doing it greatly and successfully. So, but in either case, why don't you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. If you like this type of content, again, let us know in the comments. We'll talk more in depth on these things. So,
all right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's another video, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.